He's going to have a legacy, obviously, in the field of education, where he has been a tremendous leader.
He has a way of getting along with people. For example, the Democratic governor, Zell Miller of Georgia, appointed Johnny to head the State Board of Education in Georgia, even though Johnny was a Republican. So he has a capacity to cause other people to like him, to trust him, and as a result, he gets things done.
Well, I was running for governor in 1990, and Zell Miller was the Democratic candidate for governor. And the truth of the matter is, we ran a good race and did well, but we finished second. And I was in my office on a Friday morning, and the phone rang, and he said, "Johnny," I said, "Yes." "This is Zell Miller." I said, "Hey, Governor, how you doing?" I wonder what the heck he called me about. He said, "I got a problem, and I want you to fix it." I said, "Well, what's that?" He said, "Well, I'm fired the Board of Education tonight, and I'm going to ask them to elect you the chairman. I'm going to ask you to come down here and do whatever you think we need to do to fix this thing. I can't deal with it anymore." So here in one day's time, I had gone from not even knowing where the Board of Education was to being asked to be the chairman, being asked to tell the governor of the state, who I'd lost to for governor, who to appoint in his cabinet for the Department of Education.
He gets a call from his former opponent and bitter political rival, Governor Zell Miller, who says to him, "Johnny, I'd like for you to come and help rescue the State Board of Education from a moment of crisis." He had turned somebody who had been a political enemy into a political ally, and it was that political new friend who reached across the aisle and gave Johnny Isakson an opportunity to serve the public once again.
And Georgia turned around. Scores got better, schools got better, people got better. We passed bond issues, things like that. And that appointment changed my whole political career, because a couple of years later, Newt Gingrich resigned, and they came to me and said, "Would you run to replace him?" And I won the seat. And then a few years later, Zell Miller, who had beat me for governor and then asked me to come run the State Department, called me up and said, "I'm going to resign from the Senate. I want you to come down and take my seat." So my whole life changed over 45 years in elected office, from day one when I ran in 1974 to today. I went from everybody that I lost to, appointed me where I won a race to replace them. Just because somebody's your opponent today doesn't mean that it can't be your biggest friend tomorrow. That was my most fun I've ever had in public life, was the education experience in Georgia and how it came about.
Johnny was one of the few Republicans who had ever served as the chairman of a state school board and understood public education policy at the level that Johnny Isakson did. Johnny's wife, Diane, had been a very successful public school teacher. Johnny had served on the education committees in the State House and the State Senate, and then chairman of the State Board of Education. No Republican in the Congress knew more about public education than Johnny Isakson.
Well, Senator Patty Murray and I work on a lot of things together. For example, on education, fixing No Child Left Behind. We got stuck actually on an early childhood education issue that she wanted and that I couldn't support. And so I just stepped back and asked Johnny to work with Patty to see if they could work it out. And they did, because of their respect and trust for each other.
Every time we sat in the committee hearing room or closed door meetings behind the scenes, everyone just listened to what he had to say, because he was one of the few people who was actually a part of the original conversation too. So, I'd write memos for him saying this, and then he'd bring up things that happened in, '86 in the State House, or when he was the chair of the Georgia Board of Education.
I tried to go out and be a catalyst for people to say, rather than say, "Tell me what do you think is wrong with education, tell me what you think is right with it, but tell me what we should do, and then if you think that's what we should do, how can we help you do it?"
I was delighted, because Johnny's just the kind of person who focuses on something. I knew his passion about early childhood education, and he agreed immediately to work with me. And we were able to put together, for the first time ever, as part of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, a focus on early childhood education.
I think it's fair to say that we could not have fixed No Child Left Behind without Johnny Isakson's experience and leadership, and I'm deeply grateful to him for that.
I am so grateful to him for his passion on that, his work on that, and the ability to say, we got that done.
Seeing this bill through in the committee is a great testimony to working together, to finding common ground, and to our collective purpose of seeing to it our children are the best educated children in the world. So Senator Alexander, thank you. Senator Murray, thank you for what you've done.
Today you graduate from an institution full of classrooms bordered by walls, time clocks, and schedules, into the bigger classroom known as the world around you. If this ceremony was the end of your education, it wouldn't be called commencement, it'd be called terminal. But it's called commencement because all of us in life know that your education in college is something that you build on for your entire career. So never stop learning.